Okay, so now we're going to be adding an image to a page. So in this short tutorial, we already have a test page added here to our folder, and we have our images folder here, and we already have an image in there from the last tutorial. So if you need to know how to add a page, you can go back to the other tutorial for adding a page in Plone. If you need to know how to add an image, you can also go back to the tutorial, which is part of lesson 9 for adding an image in Plone and getting the image in your site. So again, we're here where we left off from the last tutorial. I'm in my folder. I'm going to go to the contents view. And I can see here's my test page. Here's my images folder. If I go into, oh, actually, this is a news item. Let me back up here. Okay, well, I'm going to add a page real quick. Alright, so I'm in my folder here. I can go to contents view. I'm just going to add a page. And give it a title, a description, and some body copy here. And I will sort of add a bunch of this because we'll look at the different things we can do with an image. And then I'll just save that. So there was a quick tutorial on how to add a test page, or how to add a page in Plone. Alright, so we're going to add an image to this page. So when you're at the page where you want to add the image, go into Edit. Alright, and there are basically two ways you can add an image. Well, they're really unlimited ways in which you can do it, but they're two sort of main ways. Or actually, there's one main way in a page. I'm thinking about a news item. There's one way that you'll add an image to a page, and that is through the body WYSIWYG editor here. So the easiest thing to do, so if you want to have an image show up on this page here, put your cursor generally where you want the picture to show up. I usually just end up putting it right at the beginning of the text. It's the simplest way to do it, and I'll show you how to move the image around once you have it in there. But so if you just click to get your cursor blinking at the beginning of the text there, and you'll use the Insert Image button in the top of the WYSIWYG editor. Click that, you'll get a dialog box asking where the image is. Now, in the other tutorial, we put an image into the images folder. You can actually do that as well through this dialog box called Insert Image. There's an Upload Image Here button you can use, but we already have our image that we want to use, which is this test image. So if you basically just sort of navigate around here to find your image, we talked in the user group about how some of these directory navigations work. So basically, you just want to navigate to your images folder and find the image you want to use. All right, so here's the test image that we input last time. And it gives you a little preview here of your image so you know you have the right one. And here, alignment, you can either select left, inline, or right. I'm going to select left here, and I'll show you what that does. But basically, that's going to put the image all the way to the left and let the text that you have here, which I have all this test body copy, it's going to flow all the text around the image, which looks really good, and that's probably a standard way that you can do it. If you select inline here, it's going to put the image in. So in other words, the text will flow underneath or above, but it won't flow around the image. And then alignment right is the opposite of alignment left. And so if I select alignment right here, it'll push the image to the far right of the body copy, and it'll flow the text around it. So generally, you can choose any of these that you want. You'll probably get used to using one way or the other. There's some good ways or some good reasons for using the inline format, but generally you can choose either left or right, and that'll do what you need it to do. And then here you can click the size that you want the image to show up as, and so usually we'll use this preview 400 by 400. That's kind of a good size to present an image. And then here, this text equivalent, you want to customize this. So here, when we uploaded our image, or when we created the image in Plone, we just called it test image. But here you want to be more specific, because what this text equivalent field, whatever you put in here, populates what's called an alt tag once it's finally up on the website, on the web. And this is the text that someone with a visual disability who might be using a screen reader, this is because they can't see this image, they'll rely on their screen reader technology to read the code that makes up the page, and this whatever is in this text equivalent field here, this alt tag field, is what the reader will read to that person. So in other words, you want to describe the picture because they're not going to be able to see the image, and so you could say basically you want to keep it concise as well. So just describe your image, and that's it. Just hit OK. Right, so I had the align right selected, so my image populates here on the right, and like I said, the body copy will flow around it. So if you have sort of a longer article here with several different paragraphs, you can see how it flows around the image. So if I would have had align left, it would simply just be showing up here on the left side. If I had inline selected, none of this copy would be flowing around. It would just be loading underneath the image. That's pretty much it. And you hit save, as always, and give it a second to do its thing. And now you have your page. And you have your image in place. And it's still in private state. And you can do with that what you will. But that's generally how you will add an image to a page.